Oh no. Welcome back to Truck Central. Mr. Justin Wheeler here in the 2019 Ram 1500 Limited High Mileage Edition. We have just eclipsed the 195,000 mile mark, and just when I thought we were so close to hitting that 200,000 mile milestone without having any new problems, well, I've got some bad news. And unfortunately, I can't really blame the truck. It's probably my fault. I'll get into that story more here in a second. Before we jump into it, I do want to say thank you to Real Truck. Real Truck is the sponsor of the season for Truck Central. So after you get done listening to me talk about how I might have screwed up my air ride and the situation we're currently in, head on over to realtruck.com and buy yourself something nice. All right, so here's the deal. A couple days ago, I'm sitting in my office. Coworker walks in and says, "Hey man, why is your truck sitting all funny?" And I get that sinking feeling in my stomach that you get whenever you kind of know that someday you're going to get that news. And I thought, oh no. Walk outside, and sure enough, front driver wheel or fender is damn near touching the wheel. That air spring, air cylinder, had lost all of its pressure. Now, I jump in, I fire it up, it pops right back up, but that begs the question, what happened? Where did that air pressure go? Why is it just that one spot, not the other three airbags, air cylinders, whatever you want to call them? The weird thing is, it hasn't happened since. Mr. Justin Wheeler from the future here. Stick around to the end of the video. Things did not go exactly as planned. It happened that day, and every day after that, I've expected to go back out to my truck and to find it kind of face planted in the parking lot. But that hasn't been the case. So I don't know if maybe something got stuck in the valve, the dump, or if maybe it's just a weird fluke deal. It lost pressure. Not what I expected. But let's talk about how I think it might have happened, how it might be my fault. So a few days ago, the day before I found the truck in that sad state, I got that old familiar feeling, that twinkle to go buy something that I don't need. And I hooked up the car hauler and headed out and retrieved an old 70s model Dodge Sportsman motorhome. Yeah, I've already got one, but now I've got two. Anyway, that's not really why I think or how I think it happened. To get access to this old motorhome that was just buried to the frame, I had to navigate a very tight corridor of, it's essentially a minefield. It was an old abandoned property, and there was metal and wood and pallets and just, I don't want to call it trash, but just materials everywhere. And I don't know if I snagged something, got a hole poked in something, overworked it. I'm not sure, but I've never had this problem until the day after I pulled that old crusty motorhome home.
About to lose your compressor. Compressor's flopping around.
So if you have any ideas of what could cause a momentary blip in the air ride suspension, I'd appreciate any help I could get. I have not had time to really take the wheel off, get up underneath it, and take a hard look yet. But since it's kind of, just miraculously gone away, I don't know that I'll need to, but I do think that it's worth mentioning that, after 195,000 miles, some more things definitely can crop up. And I wasn't doing anything crazy, but it, something gave way. Here's what I do know. If this issue comes back, Real Truck does have the lift kit that I'm going to swap the air suspension with. So whether or not we get into that can of worms, time will tell. But on the bright side of the silver lining, I guess you could say, is there is a fun replacement. Just like I talked about the exhaust manifolds. You know, it sucks that they break, but it's an opportunity to upgrade to a nice set of headers. If the air ride fails, I don't know that I'll go back with stock OEM air ride parts. I think I'll take the opportunity to go ahead and install a nice, reasonable lift kit. Okay, so don't go away just yet. The day after, of course, the day after, recording the video you're currently watching, I come out to my truck and find my driver's side front back down into the driveway. So unfortunately, what I was hoping to have just barely missed out on, it's a reality. I do in fact have a problem. It wasn't a fluke deal. It has now came back to haunt me. Strangely enough, though, the air ride still works just like it always has, and that might have been one of the reasons why I didn't notice it. It still goes up just like you would expect, just like it always has. It still goes down just like it always has. When I'm driving down the road, it holds pressure just fine. When I get out of the truck, it looks normal, and I don't even have any weird alarms or warnings on the dash. I would expect there to be some sort of logic that if that compressor is kicking in constantly because it's noticing a deficit in pressure in this one position, that there would be some sort of alarm to say, hey, service your air ride, which I know is an actual alarm, but I haven't gotten it. It seems perfectly normal, except for now, after it's been sitting a while, just has no pressure on the front driver's side. Needless to say, there is going to have to be a follow-up video where we get this truck up in the air and we do a little further investigation on what the actual problem is. We'll take the wheels off, or we'll get it up on the Hillbilly service bay, and we'll go through every line from that front driver corner all the way back to the tanks and hopefully find out what the issue is. Also, in case you didn't know, there is a thanks button below this video. It's the super thanks button. You know, we're not real big on merch or Patreon stuff around here, but a lot of viewers have commented that they really appreciate the content, that they wish they could buy me a coffee or beer, and technically there's a way that you can do that. If you click that button, you're effectively supporting the channel. You are allowing us to keep this truck on the road so we can keep making videos like this. And I can promise you, if you do support the channel, 100% of those proceeds will go to getting the old dusty Dodge up to at least 250,000 miles, which is the goal for this year. So one final thank you to Real Truck. Who knows? We may be using them for a new suspension upgrade soon. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. You know, I look forward to talking to you. As always, thanks for watching.